that's exactly what they're trying to show with it, grow alongside. And this is a perfect event. Oh, thank you for that fist bump, Kai. Is that a sign that you're starting the game? I'm not sure, but what I was getting at in terms for Fluxo is that you get a high-stakes tournament like this under your belt very early, along with the other event that they played and were able to win. You're building some cool experiences with this roster. You're gelling, you're experiencing some high level of intensity, and this is where things get gelled. Let's jump into the action, everybody, as we start off our elimination game of BESTIA versus Fluxo. It's Nuke to get us going. Let's see who'll be coming out on top of this one.
All right, we've learned one thing over the course of the last couple of days. South American teams do love a good old nuke, Pavlos. Everyone wants to play it. I respect it. There's been a couple of exciting nuke teams and nuke rounds that we've learned over the course of the last couple of days. The 4-layer smokes outside is something that they love using. LTZ has already picked up a kill onto Buda. And Tomashin, unable to get these Julies under control, is just going to fall victim to Davideus. This is already looking like a done deal on the BESTIA round. Casson and Timo can give it a go, but it feels like they will need a bit of a miracle if they want to fight back. And there still is a player towards Africa that they will try and hard clear, but even if they do get the kill onto exit, I don't think it changes too much for the round itself.
Nice pick for Casson. He's had some highlight-worthy moments for BESTIA in the past few days. Few clutches, key multi-kills, pick for Timo. The time's running out, and that's going to be a bit of an issue. No defuse kit available for Timo either, so all he's trying to do now is get some extra damage. He's not really saving too much other than P250, so this is where it ends. Fluxo Survivor 2 as they win the first round of the map.
All right, first buy coming through. Tomashin on an MP9. Scout for Casson. As we said, he's been delivering some decent performances so far. Casson, definitely not the level of consistency that he's probably after. But I think we can see the potential, right? With some of the micro, with some of the shots, with some of the moves that he's making. He looks like a very impactful AWPer, sometimes is. Also, the thing that you respect is that he's taken every single opportunity to be on a scout or an AWP. But Davideus has just decapitated him, and Casson didn't quite catch a glimpse of him even. If Davideus is online, as we just said, BESTIA might have some difficulties.
Yeah, it's true. It's very true. Fluxo have had some slow starts as well in the tournament, needing their individuals to shine a little bit later into the game rather than what they would have liked, right? They've been playing on hard mode a little bit. This doesn't seem like one of those starts. Potential for an upset here if Timo gets a pick, but exit quick to find the headshot. Nice little flick of the wrist from him. And now the pivot into the A site is starting to commence. Tamazin also challenged, but a headshot on the MP9 is not equal to a headshot on the AK. Therefore, he goes down quickly and no counteraction from BESTIA.
All right, that's a very clean start. I mean, Davideus getting a double kill in the first round and then a triple in the second is definitely putting him in the right mood. And especially when it comes down to the Nuke T side, I think Fluxo is definitely one of these teams that is able to min-max and make it look very good. Even if you look at the round distribution, it's around 52% of the rounds that they win on Nuke, they win on the CT side, and around 48% of them they win on the T side. Which, again, is quite impressive for a map like Nuke. As of right now, the last two Nukes they've played were all in this qualifier. Actually, Fluxo have played Nuke in every single game. They lost it to MIBR in a 10-13 fashion, beat Bounty Hunters and Imperial 13-4 and 13-8. So, yeah, fourth consecutive Nuke that we're seeing out of these guys. And what we've learned so far is that they do love leaving Davideus outside and giving him a lot of freedom, but Exit loves the high tempo T side, right? He doesn't want to play the mid to late round as much. He's into looking for early fights, playing explosive Counter-Strike.
Sure.
It makes it entertaining.
For sure. No, there's no doubt in that. Well, BESTIA are grouping up as a bunch. It'd be quite the surprise. Fluxo could potentially make it into secret here. And BESTIA have set up quite the trap. It'd be a massive upset if these pistols are able to win. Oh, the molly could just destroy it all, though. I don't think it reaches the corner. Marzen able to completely avoid it. Is a flash going to come in? Exit's going to be massively surprised. Down he goes instantly. And now Fluxo know what to expect. Nacho will commit with friendly fire, which does not enhance BESTIA's chances, but Buda's the last man standing. He's holding out on sight, hoping he can be a little bit of a menace. Zevi low on HP, but that's not the player that appears on his screen. Instead, it's Davideus and Fluxo get away with a 3-0.
All right, first buy round coming through. Let's see what BESTIA have in store for us. A couple of nice sequences we've seen. Some very clean rounds out of the T side, so not a lot of economical damage, but this is where this game truly begins. And a reminder to everyone watching, unlike the previous series, this is actually elimination on the line here, so it is quite important to get into the swing of things as early as possible. Davideus already dropping towards the top of mini. Buda needs to be careful. And again, a lot of presence in towards outside. Davideus is looking hungry, trying to chase that opening kill. Buda nearly being able to step away.
He needs to be careful he doesn't overstay his welcome, though. The high-low setup from BESTIA can be quite the trap. Instead, it's the AWP's turn to take their higher ground. Zevi attempts a shot, but falls to the asphalt.
Do they realize that the player has crossed down secret already? Because they broke the smoke, but they broke it on a very late timing. And Exit's already down there. All right, Teemo's rotated in. So I think they are recognizing the opportunity. Or actually, no, they've doubled down. They're getting ready to push in towards the lobby.
50 seconds to Marzen up in hut. Deep flash as well. Fluxo are going to have to be on their toes for a potential lurk, potential flank. Hut space taken. The Marzen not spotted. This is huge. He realizes no one has taken up this hut space, so he's going to call his team to pay attention towards this B site. No one really is there. It's a bit of a gamble stack from BESTIA.
What is OTZ doing here? 25 seconds. Does he make some noise? Do they try and go down the vent and in towards B?
It's a brilliant read. It only has to be a vent play. Oh, wow. Okay, they circumvent the entire CT defense. Walk into the B site scot-free. The chase is on for Tamarjan, hoping to get a pick, but with him falling, this is going to be called off from BESTIA.
They're going down the ramp. They're going to try and go for the retake.
Timo is so rapid with his movement. He ends up with yet another pick. This is ridiculous. Where's that come from? Zevi and Exit, last two players standing, but Nacho's got the backline covered. A big surprise. Exit will deny the defusal at the first chance, but there are way more bodies than he could account for. And BESTIA introduce themselves onto the board.
That was such a quick rotation down towards the ramp, by the way. Out of so many players from BESTIA, it felt like Fluxo made the right call. They drop down the vent, Exit stays, gets the first kill. You've got the Opera outside, cut it off, even more rotations. But then they couldn't stay alive on the bomb side itself, right? Timo gets given a lot of 1v1s. It felt like Fluxo might have overextended. Maybe they didn't get enough time to get into comfortable post-plant position, so a lot of them get caught in the middle of nowhere. Mistake map winner prediction odds still heavily favoring Fluxo. And you can take advantage of that weekly reload of $35 by clicking the banner below the stream. But with a round like this, BESTIA might be starting to turn things around, especially if they're able to chain up consecutive rounds on the board. And we're talking about how Fluxo would rather play a quick round of CS on the T side. We're already seeing signs of some changes.
Will HE to break the smokes. But the quadruple smoke setup is just too OP. You can't really spot too much movement. You need 2 HEs to do that job. LTZ unable to convert at the first confrontation, but gets provided a reset. No escape from him, so equilibrium at the 1 minute mark. I'm heading back. Leaving Zevi pointed it in secret. No such content's going to come through. Tamarjan playing very far back, close to B. "30 seconds, they're cutting it close. A potential A hit. Kai looking to come in from Hut as well. Multi-directional push. Nacho holding down the fort, getting damage onto the second. Davidale's holding on to life on 18 HP. And Tamarjan jumping in from vents. No one's quite looking, checking all corners. He's been quiet, but I think Zevi may have spotted him. Shot missed, and Casson retaliates. And given that Davidale's is low, this could be a fairly clean attempt. Kai, 2 picks to his name, but players that are low on health. This is doable.
You're right. He's not going to be ready.
And for that reason, Davidale's outsmarts him. Fluxo to win on this round. Very difficult to get across the line, but they get it done.
Pretty cutthroat, yeah. It goes down to the wire, but it's that late round maneuver out of Davidale's. It's a genius move. Repositioning in towards the CT vent. It's a bit of a risk considering how low he is on HP, but guess the timing perfectly. Basically secures the round then and there. BESTIA still have enough finances to go for another reinvestment, but Fluxo starting to really establish some level of commandment over that first half of Nuke. And on the T side as well. LTZ back towards outside. This time BESTIA decide not to challenge, but a double setup down secret to start it off. Tamarjan residing in towards the vent, making sure there's no drop being cooked up. And Casson is already down secret. But look at exit. No, it's LTZ actually. He's walked all the way in towards garage, and they've got no clue.
Yeah, no one's checking it.
Surely they don't ignore it, right? Surely Teemo's gonna turn around and think about it, or they realize this is a possibility. Yeah, he's looking, but he's being very loud, and he doesn't realize the player is already nearby.
Now he does. And the fact that it was quick, even though he was loud, allows them to get out of dodge quickly. The information is available for BESTIA, but they know they're in trouble. They need some support, and they need it quick.
He's still up in heaven. This is still such a tough position.
Tamarjan and Nacho both getting their picks. BESTIA having a great time on the defense. Fluxo are retaining the kind with Kai, but they need a little bit of extra. They need some spice. Nacho not going to allow that to happen. And if you're Zevi, there's no exit for you. Oh boy, he's surrounded. Shut down. Buda getting the pick with the MP9, and BESTIA get right back on the board.
It's a good information play coming out of Teemo, by the way. I was going to say, if he doesn't spot the player climbing on top of heaven right next to him, they probably lose the round because of that one player in that position. LTZ was so close to catching a very, very important timing. Teemo's able to get that crucial piece of info, and from that point on, even though the kills are gathered by Nacho and Tamarjan, they get them because they have the info, because they know exactly what the situation is. And the money's run out for Fluxo. We've got 2 rifles, 3 pistols. That's everything in the gas tank, and the utility's pretty limited.
Incendiary thrown. Fluxo pretty much ignore it, run straight after it. You need to make sure that you group your players together, and it has separated them at the first glance. Full commitment down ramp. Teemo already there, and there's reinforcements with the likes of Tamarjan. Hard to imagine Fluxo have a gap close in them. Flash available for Zevi. Good chip damage. And Now more Bestia players can start rotating over. Exit and Kai deliver 2 finishing blows onto the defenders, and all of a sudden, equilibrium in numbers, and Fluxo get the bomb down.
Low HP though, Zevi 32, LTZ 26, Kai 47, has the lowest amount, or the highest amount, sorry. They don't need a hero.
Unconfirmed damage though, and Kai having the off angle, getting the headshot, now has put Fluxo in pole. And he continues to wreak havoc. Bestia scratching their heads after that one. It shouldn't have been so one-sided for Fluxo. Everything looked like it was a Bestia round, but Fluxo are able to pull rabbits out of their hats.
Kai just goes absolutely crazy. I mean, Kasim just, I guess, assumed that he would be low on HP because they know they did a lot of damage, and Kai did eat attack from the first player, I think. So he was just like, well, I'm going to get the 5-7, look for the headshot. Kai goes above and beyond with the triple. Fluxo not allowing Bestia to even think about leveling things up. And that's not supposed to be that type of a one-sided half here from Fluxo. I know it's their map pick and it's Nuke and they feel good on it, but
yeah,
it's still a little bit telling of what you could be expecting. Bestia have not really been able to counteract. But I guess it's a bit of a necessity, right? With how underwhelming Dust2 has been for Fluxo lately and how good it has been for Bestia, I think Fluxo themselves realize that Nuke is a must-win.
That's a fair point. But I think Bestia are begging to differ. Still a chance in this. Timeout taken. Let's see if they can bring it back. They need a certain level of quality, and when talking about quality, 80kgear.com is the place to go in terms of peripherals. There's giveaways going on. Keep your eyes tuned on the stream for banners popping up. Fluxo closing in towards ramp. Timo got an injury to delay this. But that's all that Fluxo were baiting. A bit of a response from their opponents. Outside smokes. A lot of sprays sent in out from Bestia. Kassin out from Secret gets the pick. He didn't spot anybody else, so they know this is a bit of a ruse. Timo waiting.
Gotta be careful.
He spotted them and now vacates the premises. He's done enough to put a little bit of damage in. Bestia still in control. Fluxo yet to get them out of trouble.
Disengaging is good under these circumstances, right? Because you do have that 5 versus 4, so you don't really need to stay around and risk losing your life. Fluxo have not really gained a lot by forcing you away, right? They can just go down the ramp in towards B, and that's going to mean into the open hands of Timo and Kassin.
Timo dropping back. Kassin staying quiet. He can hear the commotion around him, but doesn't spot his opponent trying to plant, but he does hear him and ends up turning towards him. Kassin with a double kill. That's already quite large. 8 seconds. They're going to try and get the bomb down, but there's a lot of disruption coming through. Exit fighting for his life, but unable to keep his head above water. Bestia have a response.
A much needed one as well. An early opening kill, 5 versus 4. You fall back. You just play from the back of the bomb site. You allow the T's to come at you. And that was probably the first time since the start of that T side where Fluxo didn't do much with outside. They couldn't get anyone into a funky position. And instantly it just feels like Bestia can read the map a lot better. That's been one of the main issues, right? It's been tracking what Fluxo are throwing at you outside. Some of these smokes, when do they have a player that's down secret? When do they have someone that's walked in towards garage? In towards heaven? Whenever they've been able to figure that part of the equation out, the rest of it has been pretty easy. Oh. Yeah, gap in the smoke. Buda usually gets punished. At least now he knows there's people down, so he's gonna come to Thomason to drop.
Kassin doesn't pull the trigger.
What?
That's a missed chance by Cassin.
Oh, God.
The information is already there that they're going towards B. This is nothing new. He wasn't trying to bait out for something else. This is just a fumble to Margin. Waiting at the back of the site. Timo revealing himself in control room, gets away with one and looks to vacate the premises. To Margin is good enough for the hold though. Bestia set up the fortress. Fluxo have no response. They're getting deleted, shut down. And it all feels like a formality to the end here. Bestia completely locked Fluxo out.
Cassin is a lucky man. He's a happy man right now. That Tomasin and Timo go absolutely nuclear down on the B bomb side. If he misses out on this frag and they end up losing the round, that would have been a very painful thing to go through. He wanted to make sure he doesn't take the shot through the wall and just tag him but not kill him, right? He wanted to make sure he lines it up and gets a free kill, but then the player just fades away into the smoke, so Cassin just looked at him, let him go. Basically what he did is allowed both his teammates on B to get double kills, right? And then for Buda to get one more. So all he was doing, Pavlos, is boosting his teammates' confidence.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good on him.
It's just the secret formula.
Just thinking 2 steps ahead, you know?
Yeah.
How could we dare question him? Well, Fluxo can be quite happy already with what they've done on the T side, but given there are a few more available rounds, try and maximize the outputs. Pistol rounds this time around, though. Won't make this an easy affair. Cassin wondering whether he should take a peek, but instead opts to smoke and block. Fluxo are quite noisy with it, though. Moving fairly quickly. They're looking for Cassin, but he's escaped to heaven. Waiting for the right moment to swing out. Nacho chiming in as well. Best they've got a clear idea what the plan is from Fluxo, but they're giving them nothing. No chances for any trades. Not opening up the map for them. 24 seconds. And here comes an attempt to the bomb plant. Timo holding out together with Nacho. This should be fairly simple. And indeed, it is.
5 alive. They've actually came alive into this one. Money's looking very good. They're not going to get a reset until the end of the half. And I know that was just an anti-eco, but considering the slow start that Bestia had on that defense, it's been a good recovery. Especially with the amount of good T-sides that we've seen out of basically every single team in the tournament so far on Nuke. It still feels difficult to ride them off. That was a 1-4 deficit that they were fighting against. And they could still win the half. They were 2-5 down, and they could win the half. I know maybe in retrospect when you look at it, it's going to look great. From the outside, if you look at a 7-5 CT side on Nuke, you say it's not fantastic, but the context is very important.
Stake map, winner prediction, odds fall in Fluxo's favor.
There it goes. One more opener. And Cassin's, but look at them poking and prodding. I know Nacho goes down, but Cassin gets a kill. Timo just uses that opportunity to get into her trophy. They're taking space in such a cool way. They're so impudent. No respect whatsoever.
Yeah, very active on the CT side. And Fluxo feels like they're a step behind for the past few rounds. Ooh, the flash. Cassin. Doesn't quite have the chance to pull the trigger on time. Smoke broken and taken advantage of. Fluxo, nice micro play, and it nets them a giant advantage in this round. Kai, is it falling? Which provides Bestia an opportunity, but with Margin dropping into the ground, can Timo quite recover? I think not, as Exit aggresses through Hut, and Fluxo gain the lead.
That's what they needed, guaranteeing themselves the 6th round at least. You were 5-2 up. You don't want to let the CTs run away with 7 rounds. And again, Cassin is able to provide that opening kill. It's all about the response right after it. There goes the third. Nacho staying nearby through the smoke. He just gets absolutely annihilated, pre-aimed.
Wait, was the HE used from Bestia here? To break the smoke? that was the case, Fluxo were ready for it with 3 different players.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Not too bad. Buda.
Oh, what a double.
Okay. Sure, sometimes that's how the cookie crumbles. Falls into a million pieces. Yeah, Buda's unstoppable. What just happened? Buda, what's going on?
One. Yeah. And he's supposed to be a peaceful god, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing peaceful about this.
Nothing. He's looking for more. He's like a shark, and he can smell blood in the water. Buda might get the jump onto another one. He's found 4 kills.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
DIJ was having the time of his
off.
life. Not quite the ace. Oh, Kai is a party pooper. He's down to 28 HP. Could have gone down. Tomajan will make sure of it. It's a tight score at the end of the half on Nuke. A lot of work to be done by BESTIA in the second half. Fluxo definitely going to be happy with 6 on the offensive Nuke.
Pretty close on that first half. Fluxo able to gain 6 on the T side is pretty damn impressive. This was their map pick after all, and they'll want that type of performance to get ahead early doors in this elimination series.
It's a tight score. It's not like we've not seen a couple of T-sided nukes so far. But BESTIA are definitely not going to be in with an easy one. Double smoke. Looking like an A play in the works. What's the plan? Is that a vent drop or a straight up A play?
Vent drop. But they lose a lot of HP in the process. It's a great call.
And a player.
No one really down there from Fluxo to stop them. But then again, BESTIA have lost a lot of players in the process. And here comes the cavalry. No defuse kits available on any single player, not a single one on the ground either. Nacho gets a freebie, and that's a good trade back. Cassin plays aggressive. Zevi looks to return the favor, and all of a sudden, this has turned up to blow up in Fluxo's face. Cut is low, but he's able to find the headshot, knows where his last opponent is. But the bomb is going to be hard to defuse. Needs the pick, needs to go for the chase. Cassin's not going to give him anything. And yet again, takes the wider angle. This one is falling in BESTIA's hands. And how terrific were BESTIA on the post plant?
A 3 versus 5 pistol round. This is one way to start off your T-side campaign, and Cassin goes above and beyond. A triple kill out of the open on the Glock. It's him and Tomajan that did the majority of the heavy lifting. Fluxo are definitely going to be kicking themselves and screaming after this. Force buy is coming through. They still got 4 kills, but now you've given BESTIA an opportunity. Right, unless you make that what could probably be an aggressive play with 5 SMGs work, you're going to be in a very tough spot, and that might be a lobby crunch as well, or something more. A ramp boost for Kai, and you've got Zevi playing right below him. Now, the main thing is, they know Zevi's not the ramp player, so if you're leaving Kai here, you need Zevi to take contact, but not go down or get a kill. You just need them to spot somebody else, but not realize that's not the ramp guy.
All right. Let's just slow the pace down a bit. giving too much away in terms of their positioning. Fluxo will have to work for that. Play a bit of a guessing game. Exit has shown his positioning. BESTIA now throwing the mollies to destabilize the defense of Fluxo. In they go. There's quite the setup available, but Zevi falls without much resistance. LTZ looking to answer back the favor together with Davideos walking in together. But it might just be a vent cross. Or is it? Davideos falls, so does LTZ. Exit jumps out, but still ends up falling. Low HP bars, and Kai might just be the answer. If he just checks left, he does not. And to margin with a statement at the end of that round to put BESTIA on 8.
And even the BM, he even keeps on spraying down. Tomashin's had a couple of these moments, but as the reposition once again, he just becomes invisible in towards Tetris. And who would do that, by the way? 99% of players would just run in towards the HUD, try and play their life, try and stay alive. What he does, he goes forward into an even more aggressive angle.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. And it continues. Yeah, this round is not going to be a fun one for Fluxo at all, as BESTIA are looking to take back the lead. And look, the only reason why a T-side attack, a well-performing T-side on Nuke is good is if you're able to back it up later with some good early results on the CT side. BESTIA looking to instantly make that irrelevant.
It's still going to be tough. Even if you get a 9-6 lead on the T side of Nuke, it doesn't mean, you know, too much. But
sure,
at least you have a chance, right? And they will at least have a chance, as so far they've done a pretty good job here. Another good read. LTZ is alone. Burning should be a crisp. What's your favorite cooked item, Pavlos?
Cooked item?
Yeah.
What kind of wording is that? Cooked item? So yeah, like food?
What's your favorite... Yeah, what's your favorite thing to cook? I don't know. You could be into other things. You could.
I thought you were going to say what your favorite crisp is after seeing the crisp, so I already had an answer ready for that. Favorite?
Okay, what's your favorite crisp?
Quavers.
What?
Quavers.
I don't think I've tried that one.
And second is Pringles.
Ah, basic. But good. You can't go wrong with it.
No, you cannot.
I've got a very weird taste for crisps, actually.
You do? Are you the cocktail prawn type of dude?
No. There's a specific, I'm not gonna say the name of the brand, but a specific wavy brand for crisps and a ketchup flavor.
I see.
Know?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the one you either love or hate, you know, and I love it. I'm on the positive spectrum with that.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. Steak map winner prediction odds in favor of BESTIA now on the T side. So we've had a bit of a switcheroo. The weekly reload of $35, those stays the same. Go and check it out.
See if Fluxo can return the favor now that they've got guns on board. Zevi on the AWP. He won't be tested, at least at the start, as he's over on ramp for now. Ooh, Tomajin just walks out.
He's running around! He's a lunatic!
He's running like a kangaroo through the plains of Australia, and he's claiming names one after the other. He's using Fluxo as his punching bag. It's crazy.
Oh, that's mental. What a play out of Tomajin. The gap was so big between him and everybody else. The spacing was mental. He was on an island, all alone, running forward, and he still makes it work. The first player was fully blinded. That was just good setup. The second guy, he just dominated that shit. What a double entry out of Tomajin. That's why you want to see him be an entry and a star player. To hell with being a lurker. I know he was good at it, but... Geez, this is so much more entertaining.
I want to see that one again as well, right? There was a lot of running and jumping involved in there. And shooting, obviously, because he got a pick while doing all that. He got 2 kills.
And that was also a buy round, by the way. Let's not forget. Don't underestimate how important that was. BESTIA are playing a bit of a bonus with some of the SMGs, with a bit of a Galil in there, with some utility being thrown in. They just send the MAC-10 in there to try something a bit more funky, and it pays dividends.
And that's not quite a backbreaker for Fluxo, but it's pretty bloody close.
It is pretty painful because it's delaying your entry into your own CT side, right? And now you're going to be playing on a half buy, so technically, unless you pick up that half buy, you're going to be down 6-11. Also, I love the fact that Tomajan always looks like he's very bored. Like he's very, you know, even when he's winning. Initially I thought he's just an emotional guy, and when they're losing and they're upset, you know, he's pretty frustrated. No, he always looks frustrated.
A mental state he's always in. Yeah, no, just the vibe.
Permanently frustrated. But apparently he takes out his frustration on people on the server. Yeah.
Yeah. I've been told when I think I have a sad face.
Sure. Yeah. You do. Yeah. Yeah, that's actually very true.
Yeah, it's annoying because
he looks bothered.
I look bothered. It's so stupid. Because then I get misinterpreted when I'm actually thinking.
Yeah. Like, are you all right?
I've had that.
I know you don't usually think.
Oh, God. You have a resting I smelt something funny face.
Hmm?
You have a resting I smell something funny face.
I smell something funny.
Yeah. That's your resting face.
Ah. Sure.
It isn't. I just wanted to come up with something.
I didn't get what that means.
What? When
I don't know what.
When you smell something funny, what's the kind of face you make?
No, yeah, but I don't look like I literally simulated it, but I don't look like this usually.
I know.
It's not my resting face.
I know. Just.
I have a pretty basic Balkan resting face, I think.
And jibbing.
Yeah, Zevi is, well, chilling, but not killing. He's 7-11.
True.
And he's running out of donuts.
We're about to make the same joke differently.
All right, there's one.
This is
Cassin
huge.
Out. Nacho's low. Davide is same, but he's got an MP9, and Nacho's on 15 HP. So there might be a chance. Again, they don't have a defuse kit, but Davides has to try and fly up the vent, or goes around the world into our secret. I don't think secret is a possibility.
Buda on the other side of the vent. Zevi getting the pick on him. Puts Nacho in the hot seat. 15 points of health. He's going to be run out by an MP9. And a girl has also been picked up by Zevi. Wow, Fluxo. This wasn't meant to be an easy round for you, and they already looked like they were locked out of it, but due to some very important picks from Zevi and Davideus, it's all made possible.
I want to say it's probably Zevi and the fact that he gets the kill into the CT vent player, right? Davideus, I know, gets a triple kill, and that's incredibly impactful, but Zevi is the one that gets these kills in the middle of the round. He's the one that actually turns it around. From being in a 2 versus 3, he turns it into a 2v1. And it's important to see that out of Zevi. We've been making the point about experience and firepower and just being much more of a complete player for Davideus. Zevi's supposed to be the same, right? He's been around for such a long time. When he was on Pain, he was doing all right. I know he was never the #1 prospect when it came down to opening in Brazil, but he's still a very high-quality oper.
If you react quickly, you can join the 80k gear giveaway. Click the banner below. So what's next? Fluxo have brought themselves back into the game in a big way. Kai may be tested here. Ramp push seems imminent. Buda, the only player lurking on the outskirts of the map, does get shut down. And Kai getting this double has given a gift to Fluxo basically here. Bomb in his hands. This has made this round very simple.
It's a complete shutdown. They lose the outside player, then they feel forced to go forward in towards the ramp and right into the crosshair of Kai. Another impactful multi-kill on a defense out of Kai over the course of the last couple of days. He's had some of these, and BESTIA might have already called this one off. I think Casson running in towards despawn is quite telling of what they want to do with this. So we're getting a 2-round game, and not too much money for the T side. So this is getting more and more interesting now. That's a good craft on the AK at least. Silver lining, you can look it up. Look it up. The Spirit Glitter on the Vulcan. It wasn't a Vulcan, was it?
No.
Here we go back to it. Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. I do apologize. I don't know why I said a Vulcan. It's
white and blue. Well, it's blue. Vulcan is more black. There's white in there.
No, it's nothing like it. I don't know why.
I know it's nothing like it, but you know, colors and everything. Barely took a glance. I'll excuse it. You know, I'm giving you a pass.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But yeah, I wanted to ask you what your favorite baked item is. So
baked
I'll
or cooked? That's two different things again, Ted. Baked is oven.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean baked. I mean oven.
Ah.
Yeah.
So I already had an answer for the cooked item, and now you're turning. This is tough.
Yeah, but I said baked the first time as well.
Did you?
Oven is what I mean.
I thought you said cooked.
No, baked.
Okay. Well, favorite baked item. Favorite baked food, savory or sweet?
Just give me an answer, man.
Sure, I'll go with macaroni al forno, what I was eating yesterday, which is
pasta
in the oven.
Yeah, all right, that's fair.
Pretty basic. With someone
from
Cyprus.
I'd say either lasagna or baked potatoes.
Yeah,
Usually just normal baked potatoes.
It's a lasagna abomination. What I named basically for anyone not aware of the dish I named.
Yeah. It is very similar.
Very.
All right, Zevi. You get that shot onto Thomas. Jen answers yes. Refract swing not coming through. Zevi actually sticking around a little bit. Timo decides not to go through the Molotov, and that's Thomason out of the equation early on. And a full investment out of BESTIA as well, by the way. They didn't hold on to anything. They've gone all in. So if you take that round, this is probably going to mean a tied up score.
This is a very important round, especially for BESTIA. And they've just fallen into Kai's hands once again. Kai knows he has no business to play aggressively anymore. All he has to do is make sure that BESTIA don't really move that far forwards.
Hey, yo.
That's a big pick, though. Catching Kai off guard.
One player in towards single door. If they can somehow plant the bomb without Davideus interrupting, there might be a chance, but the time is running out. They need to get moving.
Smoke, flash, and they chi. Davideus knows that there's importance in interrupting the plan, and that's exactly what he's going for! He's allowed to do so! No one giving him any attention, and he demands some respect. Fluxo are about to return the favor.
I was just gonna say, that smoke actually helps Davideus more, right? Because he can master the flash, and he can just go with the swing. If the smoke goes inside of the door, then it's a little bit different. If it's like this, it actually provides him with an avenue to go out. It makes it more difficult to cover the planter. Buda couldn't cover Nacho. And then the Opera of Caston just missing a couple of shots. Fluxo bringing this one back. Last tactical timeout for BESTIA, feeling the pressure.
They're bringing the heat, dude. All of a sudden, this game has gotten very spicy. A Fluxo side getting confident on the CT side of Nuke is one I don't think BESTIA would like to mess with. Three rounds consecutive now, and that finally breaks the economy. So pistols out. The Argentinians. There might just be some pace in this one for BESTIA. Smokes are enough to cover the cross. And the run is on. Only one to the bottom layer, and that's Davideus has been spotted. Try-pie from buda! Kai,
hold on.
He's able to answer back, which is important, but Tamarjan flows under the radar. And for that reason, BESTIA still have the numbers. Kai, a very important position. He needs to stay alive. Indeed gets the pick, but BESTIA at the same time will be allowed to plant.
This is still terrifying. I know they've not picked up the rifles, but they have got the pistol, especially Cassin up close with that Tech 9 and the Deagle from the back of the bomb side. All it takes is just the right one Deagle to connect, and there it goes!
Oh, it's happening! Oh, it could be happening unless Exit comes berserk here, and indeed he does. A very important double kill from the IGL, the Fluxo. Pair that up with LTA's closer. And the Fluxo are able to avert a big crisis.
Jesus Christ, these rounds are really going down to the wire. Look at that shot out of Timo. If Cassin's able to turn that Tech 9 into a kill, then suddenly it's doable. Nacho was trying to find the edge around the smoke. It's still impressive that they're turning around like this. It's such a competitive affair though, 10 apiece. The odds swinging back in favor of Fluxo, big time swing. Go and check them out over at Stake. $35 weekly bonus still available. Just click the banner below. Davideus, does he want to push through this? Looks like he might. You got a break of the smoke from a teammate, but Tomasin was just holding.
Aggression from Kai yet again. How does he get Cassin as well? The moments that he missed, there was an opportunity for Cassin to get shut down, for at least Kai to get killed, but no. What a flick. Fluxo seem indestructible.
Kai seems impeccable. When was the last time you've seen a game like this out of Kai?
Don't know.
He's been getting so criticized by so many people whenever Fluxo make it into international events and after that time that he spent on Furia. But he's looking very sharp here.
Solid.
Very strong.
Oh. Okay. We see you, Fluxo. Fluxo be flexing.
Besting.
No, that's BESTIA. They're not doing that right now.
No, Fluxo are besting BESTIA.
Ah.
And they're flexing on him.
Counter-terrorists win.
Fixated on the flex.
I'm letting that statement just float in the air. On to the next. All right. So, a very important round for BESTIA. They lose this. They are in dire straits, and I'm not talking about the song. Tamarjan. Great entry. First step in the right direction, but the exit coming out from buda not as successful. Exit instead is Batimo. Goes berserk and BESTIA find the way back in. That was lightning quick from the T side.
It's such a weird round as well, right? It kind of felt like they just said, you know what, screw that. We want to go and fight. We're just going to send it out there, make it a chaotic one, make our way out of door, out of HUD, just wait for the CTs to start rotating heaven and just wait for all the fights. Go toe-to-toe with them and made a better warrior win. It was such a 50-50 type of a call out of BESTIA. They're like, well, either they're going to destroy us and win the fights, or we will do that to them. Let's find out. Now they're picking up the pace. Thomason already down the vent, and the CTs might not be aware of that. He's just controlling the rotations here. If they're able to deal with Kai, this is massive. That was a vent drop out of Davides. He didn't realize Tomajan was already down there, and now they can go towards the ramp.
The pace is on for BESTIA. Indeed, they're making moves. Kai
Oh God.
trying to catch up to his opponent, but Tomajan is just so damn fluid. He's very much
This round is done.
in his opponent's faces, and you're right. Fluxo, there's no way back in this. Surely not.
They have the money, so they can still try and do something, I guess. This is what LTZ's thinking, but you should just call this one off. You're not winning the rounds. Zevi's also going down the vent, so they will try, but there's a flank coming in behind Zevi. He's not gonna like this.
This is so big.
Not a tiny bit.
And this is over. Final nail in the coffin. Cassin performs the backstab. It's enough of a disruption. Only one player surviving, and that's exit. We'll try and run. if that's any good outcome, if you will. But who would have thought? BESTIA are the squad to beat on map point here by winning the next. A bit of an upset, shutting down Fluxo's map pick.
They just decided to play ballsy Counter-Strike. Literally, the last round was let's run out A and fight them. This round was let's send Thomason down the vent and then group up and potentially just go ramp. Wait for Thomason to get a kill. As he was that quick, Davides had no clue. So the moment that Thomason gets the free frag, you realize Kai's probably rotating away from the ramp. So you catch the timing, you go down. Thomason gets a second one onto Kai as well. And Fluxo are now feeling like they might have let their map slip. Which is a funny thing to say, considering just 2 rounds ago, it felt like they were going to be able to convert. Yeah, in a tiny, in a pretty tight fashion. In a pretty close game, but still close it out. Now the story has changed massively. That's over the course of just a couple of minutes. Everything's changed. What do you call here, though, if you're BESTIA? Because surely you can't just go all in, pedal to the metal once again and hope it works.
You can't? Probably not. Let's see. Indeed, it's a little bit slower pace from the very beginning. Fluxo, they themselves will be a little bit afraid to make mistakes. Zevi could be tested in ramp eventually. Is leaning in his direction. Double outside smoke.
Here's the steps. Knows it's coming.
Vidal slow on 20. Shot lands. Second shot lands. Zevi is doing such a great job, but Nacho puts him to his grave, and BESTIA still have a chance. Do they continue down the ramp pursuit?
Steps hurt by Thomason. He knows that one player went down the vent. And we still have Davides on low HP off of some of that early spam. Thomason, does he get into a fight?
I think LTZ may have spotted him.
They're still going down B. Davides is here and he's low on HP. He needs to be careful not to go down.
Yeah, there's just way too many Fluxo players around. BESTIA going to have a hard time getting the bomb into the ground. But they indeed do achieve it. Nacho, whoa, using the smoke for cover. It's brilliant. Davides is low. And Nacho will try and interrupt this pre-fire. Nacho ends up falling. And Fluxo have achieved it. Overtime coming in. No squad in this closed qualifier is allowed a series without OT. Fluxo, welcome to the club.
Yeah, they were the last one, right? They were the only team that had not played an overtime prior to this game in this entire tournament, and this map changes it all. BESTIA with another OT affair, and I say another, in case you're just joining the tournament and you're wondering what the hell do we mean. Well, BESTIA, in their first series against Imperial, they played an overtime on Dust2. That was one that they lost, 13-16. Then in the lower bracket against Galorys, they played an overtime on map 1. That was a 12-16 loss on Ancient. Then they won cash in triple overtime, 22-19. And then in their next game against LP, they played another overtime on Dust2, which was a 1916. So this is the 5th overtime map that BESTIA have played in this tournament.
Fluxo getting ahead. Sevi's picks and damage onto Tamarjan. Looking for the headshot. He's under a bit of stress. Smoke coming in, but Kasim won't let him get out of dodge. Nicely done to interrupt. Standstill for BESTIA. Only Buda walks down secret, but he doesn't fully commit with it. It's as if they're waiting for Fluxo to make a move. Which they have.
How do you go down B though? LTZ is surely thinking about the possibility of someone being down the vent, and BESTIA actually don't want to go down secret. They're wrapping around. Upper spotted. LTZ is not re-peeking that. He could have paid the ultimate price for that piece of intel.
Feels like an A commit. 18 seconds. They're going to have to move. If they don't, this would be quite the upset to Margin. Leading the charge. Molly on one end. Buda having the high ground. It's important. LTZ though overwhelmed. To Margin.
Tamarjan
ends
killed
up
himself.
falling.
Bomb has been planted.
Bomb goes down with 3 seconds to spare. Exit in Kai. Can you get this back in Fluxo's favor?
Did Tamarjan disconnect? I think he might have. But Kai and Exit are calling this one off. They don't want to risk it. They want no business with the round. BESTIA have just turned around a 4v5 with Tamarjan disconnecting. Talk about upsetting. Talk about anticlimactic.
Really?
Fluxo have allowed BESTIA to get the first round on T side. And that's a little bit of an upsetting exit.
I mean, that's what happens when the bomb explodes, messes up with the crosshair, and if you're mid-spray, that's never going to be a fun time.
Yeah, destabilizes you a little bit. Maybe a bit more than a little bit.
They're still leading the charge straight out of overtime. And this pace being maintained on the T side. If they get away with 2, you're already gaining quite a bit of an advantage. Nacho getting first blood, and it looks like they are continuing with their aggressive ways. Instantly take over the server, blink and you miss it. BESTIA double their round count on overtime.
And this is definitely going to put them in a very commanding position. I mean, Fluxo need 1 round at least. That's not up in the air. It's not conditional. It's just they need it. It's not optional. You need at least 1. BESTIA have guaranteed themselves a very good position for the second half with these 2 rounds. If they get 3, surely they close it out. And this could be Fluxo letting their own map pick slip. Instant refrag. Nice headshot out of Exit though. At least he tags Buda down, but it's still a 2 for 1, and Buda's nearly taken down, but just barely able to make it into secret, and that's a massive play. Nacho's gonna follow him. The bomb is going down B.
Buda low. The fact that he's got teammates around, it may not be that big of a difference. Now leading the charge, be that the distraction between himself and Nacho.
Look at that play from Davideus. He's pushed all the way into our secret. He's not seeing anything, but he's playing a very aggressive angle, and the fact that he's not spotted anyone means that those 2 Fluxo players can stay a little bit more focused on the A-bomb side.
Kai.
Oh, he dropped down.
Side.
He's allowed a player to go above him. That's a bit weird.
exactly
Buda's gonna get a
Buda
free kill
has
because of that move.
Done. Oh boy. Does he expect this? Surely Buda will think he has to focus on side. Kai ends up falling. So Margin jumping in as well. That looks like history. 3 rounds on the attacking side by Bestia. Now that is a hell of a score to beat.
Surely that's the end of the map, right? Surely this is Bestia stealing Nuke away. And it's such a similar game to the last time those two played against each other. Again, a Nuke pick. And again, Bestia so close to running away with it. Interesting thing is that last time around, it was actually Dust2 that ended in overtime in favor of Bestia. This time it could be the other one. That's going to be a second consecutive overtime map between those two teams, and a second consecutive overtime map that goes in favor of the Argentinians. That's if they win 1 round on that CT side.
Gaza spots out some movement. Oh, and he's playing around the smoke, ends up connecting. Orc v Orc fight. It's Cassin that ends up landing the shots.
Zevi's a lucky man. 15 HP is what that nade takes away from him. He's left on 6 points of health.
Ooh, trade. Margin, good for the one. Ends up giving his life away for it. Not sure if that was worth it, given Zevi's low HP. Videos out into the open. The spray ends up landing onto Buda's head. Now it's Fluxo in pole in the round.
They're still in a good spot, though, the CTs, I'd say. Teemo's got a very decent position, considering no one's coming in from the ramp. If Nacho's able to go around and kill the player in towards door, that becomes a 3 versus 3, and suddenly Teemo's position is very good, but Kai's ready.
So this has become ever difficult for Bestia. Ever so tough. A very brilliant round needs to come through from either Timo or Cassin, but given that Cassin's only got an AWP, it's hard to imagine that it's going to be him. Timo, is he idle enough on B to get a multi-kill? A lot of damage. Can he end up with them all? 8 seconds, 7, 6.
You can just run him down.
Timo can try and deny it. Looking for the headshot. He finds it. Bomb goes down. Timo goes through the wall. Timo! What? An insane quad piece! Wins the round and the game for Bestia. What on earth was that?
And he lets him know. You saw the reaction out of Davideus. He cannot believe this is how they let the map end. That was mental. This was anticlimactic. What a blunder out of Fluxo. 9 of them wins, 3 of them losses. 1 loss to the Bounty Hunters, that was back in May. The 2 most recent ones were on the 13th of July in the Thunder Pick World Championship. They lost it in a 9-13 fashion to Imperial, and then on the 28th, which was literally a couple of days ago, day 1 of this qualifier, they lost it in a 13-16 fashion to Imperial. Ever since then, they have been in a streak of 2 consecutive wins. 13-11 Galorys, 19-16 against LP, and a reoccurring topic of great T sides and issues when it comes down to the defense to close out games. But now they're 1 map away from that lower bracket final against Shinden. Tomorrow we can get an Argentinian derby in the consolidation final. Know that Bestia need and want is 13 rounds on their map pick.
Let's see if they can get there. Now on the pistol, Bestia start things off by running down mid. There's quite a lot of presence for Fluxo. 2 in short, 2 also, well, 1 in lower tunnels. LT's head already been taken care of. Zevi with the elbow in front of his eyes will also get shot by a bullet to the face. And with that, Bestia with 2 numbers more than Fluxo will look to group up. Davideus, what? Blinking, you missed it! 3 kills out of nowhere. What was that?
Oh my
He might
God.
even want to keep it going. He still has plenty of bullets available to him on the dualies. He's doing so much more damage. Davideus is a one-man army, I'm telling you.
That's mental. It's so reminiscent of the start of Nuke as well. He had a couple of these moments there. Just when it feels like Fluxo were out and done for, Davideus is stepping in. Showing why he's such a high-quality piece.
It's mad. I feel like we need to see that highlight on repeat to understand what just happened there. What a sequence. He might even end up with the ace here. To margin is low. Goodness me. What a start. This is by no means an easy map for Bestia. This is not going to be a walk in the park. Fluxo definitely going to give it a fight, and it was definitely a very close affair indeed. That is the ace from Davideus. Holy moly guacamole. Replay, replay, replay. Oh, unfortunate. It's going to be living in my head rent-free, nevertheless. It'll be replayed there a bunch of times. The Bestia too, probably in their nightmares.
All right, this one is a little bit slower. What do we got here in terms of the Yuta? We've got 3 smokes, 3 flashes, 1 Molotov on Tomajan. We still have Natural lurking in towards B. Natural on Dust2, by the way, has been a pleasant surprise. All of these sharp shots. It feels like every now and then he just gets into the rhythm and starts having such insane first bullet accuracy. It's been something to pay attention to over the course of the last couple of days. Meant to be smoke in play. Flood smoke too, but this is all a fake. The bomb is still making its way up short.
Davideus continues to spree from before. And the fake has worked out. The inside plant could come through, but if you're not cautious, the long play could also disrupt you. Timo answers back with a double D. It's the Timo Davideus show, I'm telling you, Ted. These two are going toe-to-toe. Davideus finally takes him down. This guy's unstoppable. 100% of Fluxo's kills. And he's looking to keep it going. Flash through. Buda interrupts LTZ. Exit also to 4. Davideus might want to do it alone, though. Shutting in on Natural's position. Finally taken down. And Bestia, due to Timo's glorious D shots, are able to answer back.
That's such a sick fake out of Bestia, by the way, because Tomajan gets so committed in towards that mid to B play that they actually believe it is the play, right? Even though he does get killed, the player in towards the window kills Tomajan, and he's like, okay, this guy's the entry, I killed him, I'm just gonna back off, I'm gonna let my teammates help me. They don't realize that there was no one else out of middle. It's such a cool play, and with the flood smoke as well, they completely bought into it, but these 1Ds out of Timo, that was the real difference maker. A sick fake
what a pace
combined
changer,
with some sick shots. Truly a based round.
Sevi, he spotted out the movement. How much damage can he do? Molly on retreat. Taking care of Kai. And Zevi's mollied off Gandalf as well. Looks fairly straightforward for Bestia here on out. LTZ doesn't stand a chance either. Fluxo players falling like flies.
You know what? Something happened with Timo. I think sometime through that overtime on Dust2 yesterday, where he just started delivering. I think you pointed it out as the game was going on, but he just started getting multi-kills galore. And I feel like he's still been in that mindset ever since the start of Nuke as well. With that 4-piece to close it out here at the start of this one, some of the 1-deeks. Timo's just looking like the ultimate low-sense super machine. I actually have to give this one a check, but he looks like he's playing with incredibly low sense, and he's got incredible first bullet accuracy. Let's see. I've got it.
What is it?
I've got it right. 0.52 sensitivity on 800 DPI. So in case you're wondering, this is 1.04 on 400. I'm telling you, man, he looks like he's playing on the lowest of low senses.
I play on pretty low sense. That's lower than mine.
Yeah, this is very low. What he's playing on is very low sense.
Damage from a distance from Tom Argent. Davideo's taken down. Still the only player for Fluxo that has kills. I wonder if will be changing this time around, as Fluxo only have pistols to work with. No util either. They'll try and use the force of numbers to take mid control. As soon as they approach to his side, they start to cut noise. But there's a guarantee in place, right, to Margin? Nice amount of HP on him. He just avoids the gaze of Zevi and re-swings for the headshot. LTC doesn't stand a chance. His back turned. And Kai and Exit looking forward to saving their favorite pistols.
This keeps getting better and better for Bestia, by the way. It's been a very good run. And when you think about it, it's the first time they've had such a decent start as well. They won map 1, now on Dust2, they started 3-1 up. Controlling the money game. The first buy round is coming up. This is where Fluxo need to put their foot into the door, right? This is elimination on the line, but it's a best of 3 and you've already dropped your own map pick. You don't want to let Bestia get that 5-1, 6-1, 7-1 lead, because even mentally then it could feel like it's such a long way back, and it's not like they haven't been losing some frustrating rounds, and all of this is just stacking up on a pile. It makes it more difficult for you to imagine that this is doable.
Completely agreed. They need something and they need it quick. Losing this round would be devastating. Imagine if it wasn't about that first round either from Fluxo, right? If Davideos didn't come away with that insane sequence in mid doors, Bestia still felt like they had that one under control. Trying a very strong form. Increasingly looking like a mid to B play.
Also, I just realized Davideos is the only player that's gotten a kill.
Yeah, I've been pointing it out every round, by the way.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just...
It's true, though. It's true.
Very locked out of the individual kill count. Locked in on Davideos' performance, but he needs a little bit of support. And he's not getting it. They're just getting mowed down.
Oh my god.
It's not even funny anymore, by the way. It's very concerning. You've played 5 rounds of Counter-Strike on Dust2, and only one of your players has gotten a kill.
And those kills were in the first 2 rounds of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is disturbing, isn't it? Zevi. He's now introduced himself to the score sheet. So, finally done.
Kai's done the same. It is exit kills though, and he's received the tag, and another one. Cassin's just toying with him, man. He tagged him twice with a scout, finished him off with the Deagle. It's just a bully fiesta. Bestia having their eyes set on a consolidation final against Shinden tomorrow. Of course, this is the penultimate day of the Closed Qualifier. We've got just one spot leading into the StarSeries Season 20. Vitality, Furia, Navi, Mouse, direct invites. Aurora and Magic making it through the European Closed Qualifier. We've got this one, and then we've got the NA Closed Qualifier as well, where Energy, Vocus, Sportsbet Expert, and Marsborn are the 4 teams left. Of course, there I feel like it's quite obvious that Energy is the #1 favorite to grab the spot.
Yeah.
If they don't, I'd be very surprised.
It'd be a very NRG thing not to make it, though, at the same time. Although, yeah, the competition in North America, not as close cut as in South America. Not only in this close qualifier, but I think generally. Galorys playing aggressive here. It's getting some chip damage across, not getting punished. Footsteps back, LTZ sticking around a little while longer. Tamajin spots him. And will send in an HE. Lobbed. Tad bit too far. Tamajin's had enough though. Molly getting Davideus out of position. Well, actually, gets LTZ out of position and kills Davideus at a longer distance. Timo's in a good position to receive this long play. Yep. That
Ready
leg
for another.
warns him. I think Zevi's too spooked to go for the push now.
Goes for it eventually, but Timo's still locked in. They're not leaving a stone unturned. It's just very locked in Counter-Strike, very diligent. And they're just playing like a team that knows they're the only ones that could beat themselves, right? Barely making any mistakes, getting the rounds comfortably, slowly but surely. Moving ever closer to that number 13, moving so close to that win. And no matter who wins this series, if it's BESTIA, if it's Fluxo somehow, it's still a crazy run considering both of them started this tournament in the lower bracket after losing their opening games. That's 3 consecutive wins. And at this point, it feels like it's going to be BESTIA, but this is so much momentum. When you think about it, from that perspective, by the way, the only other team who's got a similar momentum would be MIBR, that have won 3 games in a row. It's MIBR and whoever wins this series. And then Shinden, they lost today. They'll have to try and reset.
Is it 3 in a row for BESTIA?
Yep. That would be their 3rd. Because they won the first round one against Galorys,
right. This would
the
be the
second one
third,
against
yes,
LP,
correct.
and this would be
Yeah,
number
yeah.
3. Yeah.
Correct.
You just get that 1 bonus extra game because you're coming through the lower bracket, right?
Yeah, it's quite the comeback from BESTIA in the tournament. They've grown throughout it. You can't quite say the same about Imperial. Bit of a collapse midway through. BESTIA again. Emphasis on mid. Fluxo desperate of having a round go their way, or even have a close round. They're not really given too much at the moment. This is spooky. Flood smoke on B. CT smoke as well. BESTIA alluding to the idea that this is about to be a B push.
Double defense there. LTZ and Davideus. Davideus has been the one and only hero for Fluxo today. He might need to help again. Sevi, first shot is wayward. He needs to try and recover, but the second one also missing. And that's a big problem now.
Smoke was awkward. But now comes the push from the site. Davideus nearly adjusts correctly, but the blind does not permit him the accuracy. BESTIA, this is methodical, clinical. Sure, they're losing a couple of players here or there, but they get the job done. The site's taken over. They've got numbers now. Kai's on the chase. Oh, Buda surviving with the skin of his teeth.
This guy realized he's not getting out of here alive. Nacho's in a very good position, even though he's low on HP. He's going to have the jump on him. He's so quick on his heels. Actually deciding to go up short, but they've got him surrounded. Cassin needs to start being a little bit more active.
Oh.
Ooh. Regardless of the flash, still able to get the kill. And that might actually mean he stays alive. Yeah. Cassin didn't want to give him that AWP, but again, on that initial defense, Davides is the only one getting a kill, right? Zevi's perpetually just missing shots in towards middle. LTZ is not able to get his first. It's been a very tough map for these Fluxo individuals. Even if you get yourself some 80k gear, it's probably still going to be difficult to get out of this hole, but if you're watching the stream, then for you it's different, so you can go and check them out. Click the banner below the stream. Maybe that's what you need.
Yeah, running out of timeouts are Fluxo. Now the second one used. And just in the first 7 rounds of the competition. Yeah, that was the situation where Zevi missed the first shot, wanting to readjust, but had the very difficult job of falling back into the smoke and it prohibiting vision, walking back in, therefore being inaccurate on the second shot too. It felt like Zevi's position was more pivotal than any other for Fluxo in that round, and it just doesn't go to plan. What's next for Bestia? Again, fighting for that mid control. A little bit later this time around. Kai playing it aggressive, gets caught. The margin overstays his welcome. But thankfully for him, Nacho has his back, and Bestia look like they want to avert their gaze towards this A site.
Yeah, not really in a rush. Nacho's doing the right thing. He's just backing off, trying to stay alive for as long as possible. Davi should get that kill, and that's going to give away his position. Still, the main part of the attack happening in towards A. Exit in a very important position. Needs to try and get at least one. He will find out one DEEK. Refrag's coming in. Buda to keep them honest, but he's down on 10 HP, so Cassin might have to clutch this one up against Davideus.
Ooh, smoke fades. Just as he was about to jump over. Cassin scoped him in the right direction. Not going to be missing that shot. Wide into the open. And this is 7 in a row now for Bestia. Sure, it's up against the eco, but even in situations where Fluxo are given chances, the kitchen sink is thrown back at them. It is not a fun world for Fluxo right now. It's been quite the drought. They need to find an answer, and they need to find it quick.
It's looking so good for Bestia. This D side is just flying through them. Domagen in towards middle. Davide is able to hold on. He's on 11 kills already. Make it 12. Top of the server.
He's got more than double the kills the rest of his team.
He just needs some help. Someone save him.
I mean, he has exactly double.
Yeah, he's got exactly double the rest. Which 8 rounds in is mental for just one player. Someone needs to help him. He's kicking and screaming. Trying to buy time for his team to get back online.
He might have done enough this time around. Guess they're considering this catwalk crunch. One smoke in the hands of Nacho. HG to provide a breakaway. Davideus ready for his own flash. Exit looking to cross through, but the molly burns him together with Timo's headshot. That will be the end of him. Davideus continuing on his killing spree, and he is the only player for Fluxo that can stop Bestia today. But when he gets given the chance, he takes it by the horns.
He just aced them. He got every single one of them. If you want a job to get done, better do it yourself.
Every round Fluxo has won was because Davideus got an ace.
Yeah. That's the amount of impact we're talking about. They've won 2 rounds and he's aced in both of them.
I don't think this has ever happened in a game I've ever casted.
I've never seen that. I've never seen that, but they're 2-7 down, and he's aced twice for them to win rounds. How mental is that?
It's nigh impossible.
How mental
Probable.
is that?
Yikes. The reaction timing on Buda there is insane. Kai's in a bit of trouble. Has to reveal his position by smoking there. Gets tagged down a little bit more.
And he got the last 3 kills on 11 HP, by the way.
It's even more impressive. Kai finally gets dealt with. Timo, though, has to trade his life for the efforts. There's mid. With that high-low, there's not many chances you end up with anything. Indeed, that remains the case. So, BESTIA now just split the decision. A-Site seems to be the call. As LTC looks across into mid, there still is some resistance. The margin there to shut it all out. 35 seconds, you might even want to call it off and rotate over. Exit. On ramp. Just as he's discovered, that's when he'll fall splat into the ground. BESTIA right back in their winning ways.
They just don't care, right? Instantly, after losing the previous round, they get an opening kill in the first 15 seconds. And this is probably the worst thing that Fluxo could go for. An aggressive play in a round like this. Minute 22, so it's 30 seconds. You're already in a 4v5. And then you lose another player into Warzone. You're just getting picked apart. It didn't really feel like a competitive round at all. Davideus just gets triple peaked on middle. And the stake gods. Well, at this point, you don't need us to tell you who's the favorite. Weekly reload of $35 though. You can go and check that one out. Click the banner below the stream. And again, they're going towards Davideus. They might give him an opportunity.
Ooh, Dinkaroo. Can't get the satisfaction of the kill. Bogdan's law applies. Zevi's got a really good angle here. Should be good for one, surely. Yeah, flash goes deep. Timo caught. First time in a while, Fluxo have the numbers advantage.
Yeah, and Thomas is low on HP as well. They should have a decent chance to pick up this round. Davideus still towards middle, tries to block off that mid to B smoke. He is moving back towards the B bomb side, and Buda's just waiting for the right moment to strike. If he is patient enough, his teammates might take the attention away. Whoa. They both turn around. That's absolutely perfect. Davideus going down, and now he can just get out of there. He doesn't need to look for that second kill.
That is crazy. Just as the flash comes through, both players turn the other way, and he sees there's a chance to swing. In the bat of an eye, BESTIA take over the round. Nothing more needed, nothing less. Now they just have to hold on, because desperate times call for desperate measures, and Fluxo need something out of this. 45 for the retake, flashing from Zevi. Let's see how this goes. Nacho, Kassin, both end up with the first picks, fully in control. So many different positions. B is a fortress with 4 players alive. And an impenetrable one if it's BESTIA holding the other end of it.
Just think about it, Pavlos. We might watch an entire half of Counter-Strike where every single round converted by one of the teams has been an ace by the same player.
Yeah, I think that's history.
They've won 2 rounds, and both these rounds were Davideus aces. LTZ is 0 and 10, Kai is 2 and 6, Exit's got 4, Zevi's got 2. None of them have gotten a kill in a round that Fluxo have won.
Ooh,
Zevi's losing a head-to-head against an AK on middle when he's got an AWP.
He's not having fun, is he?
Absolutely not.
Well, now there's an AWP in the hands of Kassin.
Oh, God.
And it will rip Zevi's head into pieces. Yeah, that's annoying.
Someone needs to save them. This is looking very tough. That's one of these games where nothing works out, and it's so much worse that this is elimination on the line as well. When map 1 was in overtime, it was so close. And Davideus just needs to try and do it all.
Rifle, AWP, entry, lurk, support. Can't be everywhere, can't be all in one.
His teammates have 8 kills, he still has 16. At halftime, he could have double the kill count of all of his teammates combined. He's going to get an opportunity. Another Davideus highlight might be needed, but he's posted in towards B with that AWP. Flood smoke makes it tricky.
Davideus is alone here. Flashes in. Davideus connects with the first one. Re-swings. This time, Timo is there and waiting. BESTIA are able to get the bomb into the ground, but a 3 versus 3 still a difficult endeavor. Not a single flash available for Fluxo, so these peaks going to have to be dry. Casson may want to play aggressively, but with AWP, is that really the right call? LTZ dead. Casson now realizes that he no longer needs to be aggro, as his team has done their job on the other side of the site. Exit. Oh! Now that is a flick! Something was needed from Fluxo, and the Fluxo captain Exit provides. Is it too late? Maybe. But a bit of a break between halves can provide some respite. Oh boy, what a half. 2 out of the 3 rounds that Fluxo were able to gather were due to Davideus' aces. And a last-minute clutch from Exit to provide a third. Is that enough for Fluxo to come back here? They need this map to survive in this tournament. Otherwise, BESTIA will be knocking them out and proceeding in their route of that lower bracket.
All right, Kai. That's a good kill onto Timo. Exit still in towards Zipix, still waiting for that push, but they seem ready. Seems like they're waiting for him. Ding comes in. Casson does save the life of his captain. That's a nice pickup. Kai's the next one in line. The bomb is yet to make its way towards the bomb side, and they don't really feel that interested in going towards long.
Yeah, instead of moving into short, Nacho waiting for his team to arrive to start to have an impact. And away they go. Obviously hiding out on Car, reveals himself. Delayed pick, but ends up still to get the kill. Casson Buda low, and that will be it. Davideus helping there with a double as Fluxo win a very important pistol round.
All right, if Fluxo were able to bounce back into this, now this is going to be a crazy game, right? Because BESTIA, remember, they had a 3 versus 1 at 9-2 up. It should have been a 10-2 half. Now it was a 9-3, now a 9-4. And they've got no money, so you're probably looking at a 9-5 score, which is basically game on. looking much more competitive. They've got a decoy. they just threw a decoy at them. Tomajan wanted to give them a present. That's actually so BM.
It is, isn't it?
He literally, yeah, he literally spent $50 just to throw a decoy at them. He's like, yeah, take that.
Hey, good job winning the round. Hey, look, if this nets to something though, you started talking about it, the fact that Fluxo win the last round of the half, win this pistol round, you know, slowly create chances for themselves. And this is Dust2 we're talking about. Anything can happen.
Yeah, and in reality, that 3 versus 1, Caston underestimated the situation, and they all underestimated the situation, right? So they basically gifted the round to exit. And these are the types of rounds that could end up costing you. If you feel like you've just won the game by then, you give something back, and then suddenly the game just becomes a lot more difficult.
I mean, you just motivated your opponent's IGL with that clutch, right? So if your opponent's IGL is feeling it, is on fire, then it will be contagious for the rest of the team. That's usually the case. A couple of answers back. It's only one frag to go Bestia's way. Tomajan falls in a similar fashion as his teammates did. Bit of a cash up as well for the MAC-10s. 5-9 looks recoverable. Don't know about you, Ted, but I can't believe I'm saying this. This is not the one-sided affair we were looking at in the very beginning of this map.
No, this is... We've got a game in our hands, especially if Bestia lose that buy round, right? If they win that buy round and they just ride away with the win, then it's fine. They lose this round. Game on. Fluxo are back. As simple as that. Davides is 19-9. He's been a beast. If somebody else starts, you know, joining in and helping him out. Oh, Casson. That was a missed opportunity at an opening kill.
This is a cursed position for AWP players. Zevi couldn't get the ball rolling from there. Casson misses that shot. Looked fairly simple. Nevertheless, Fluxo gain a lot of mid space. Clear the smoke, no one's around. Ooh, Buda's goosed. CT smoke as well. Fluxo debating a mid to B cross. Buda gets away, but it's naturally the first 4. Me leaving Tomazi undefended on the site. Buda from a further distance gets the pick, but I feel like this is curtains already on the round. Fluxo win their opponent's first full buy round and have now introduced us to a brand new game state.
Yeah, this is the start of Dust2, if you ask Fluxo. The first half just doesn't count. It was just Davides trying to keep them alive. And now we're starting to see the impact of what Davides was doing, right? Maybe you were thinking these are some empty kills, right? He's doing something, but it's not going to change anything. His Bestia are just that much better. Now, because of Davides actually keeping them alive and acing those 2 rounds and providing them with the chance to capitalize on that clutch of exit, Fluxo are back. They're really here to play. And they might have something to say in this event. On this Dust2. And suddenly it turns out that they are the ones that need a tactical timeout.
Yeah, go figure. I'll need a moment after that. What's happened? And it's harder to be in control when now you're on the CT side. I know it's odd to say, but I feel like so many of these South American teams thrive where they're in control over the pace. And Dust2 is a map that you could pretty much run off of spawn or just play out a very slow style, keep it to the very last second, and then go for a collapse. It's down to Bestia now to react to what Fluxo is throwing at them. Sure, stake odds are saying that this is still a Bestia game to lose, but let's be fair, if you're watching this, there are some vibes that the numbers do not show.
All right. And apparently Davideus is still here. He's not slowed it down. They're going to go for the push. Is there a flash? LTZ's position. Very good. MP9 just ignores it. Tomashin doesn't know. He's going to try and go back, but he completely ignored the possibility.
Brother. Doesn't check it. Buda needs to take matters into his own hands. He needs to go huge, but this isn't the direction that his opponents are heading into. No, instead it's A. It's going to avoid the entirety of this BESTIA lineup. Sure, Cassin could be nearby, but if the part comes in, he's not going to do anything about it. He'll try and save. Now they realize what the play is, what the situation is like. Oh boy. Buda, where was he looking at?
I think BESTIA themselves have realized that this is a much more difficult game now. They realized that they cannot keep on underestimating the situation. Davideus has dropped Cassin, Zevi takes down Nacho, and suddenly from a 9-2 lead, that's now 5 consecutive for Fluxo. BESTIA letting this one go. That one felt like the most unlosable map of Counter-Strike we've seen all event, probably. It felt like it was impossible. Done for. Curtains. But now Fluxo are right back at it. 2 rounds, and we've got a leveled up game. How have they done that?
It truly is mad. Requires a lot of resilience. And I'll tell you what, Ted, I feel like Fluxo are now the ones favored. BESTIA are starstruck. They don't know what's just happened. How they've allowed this to happen. For the first, what, 5 rounds, only one player had killed the Fluxo. Now the rest of the team is going bananas.
That's what it feels like. It's another half by Cassin's got that hero M4, MP9 of Thomason going down. Davideus is on 22 and 9, but now he's not alone anymore. He's got so much support around him. And it all started with 2 aces and a 1 versus 3 out of exit in the final round of the first half that BESTIA underestimated and gave him away.
Oh, God. Kai still gets the kill, by the way. Yeah, we're all watching this, guys. We're all in this together. We can pinch ourselves. It's not going to change a thing.
Nope, not really. This is the reality that we live in. 1 round the difference now. You go back literally 10 minutes, and you could probably put everything you've got on the fact that BESTIA are just closing this one out 2-0. It's one of these games where if you're BESTIA, you were probably thinking about what you're gonna get for dinner after you close it out. You're already starting to think about Shinden tomorrow. You're like, oh, this is so much fun. We fought so hard on Nuke, so now on Dust2 we can relax. We can just have some fun. Davideus is trying something, but no one else is helping him, so no reason to be worried. Well, you've got a couple of reasons to be worried now. Davideus' efforts are not going in vain, and if they are able to bounce back, this man deserves a monument.
What would we make Davideus statue of? Stone, marble? Steel?
To be fair, I think marble is the best one. Usually they were made of gold and bronze, right? And silver.
Yeah, we ain't back like that.
yeah, that was back in Rome. But
we're
then
going
they
through a
needed
recession right now. Let's be realistic.
Yeah. Shout out ODDIK gear. We've got the giveaway. Click the banner below. But that's actually a fun little fact. They were making the statues out of metal back in ancient Rome, not out of marble. But then they needed the metal for weapons and armor, so they melted them, and the replicas were created in marble.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah, the original ones were never marble.
Oh, that is interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's a fun fact for you. Everyone seems to think that they were all marble statues, but they weren't. They were made of metal.
Probably became art then. The marble piece became art, but sure, the first being metal does make sense.
Yeah, yeah. No, the marble ones are much more modern, right? They're like they were created after the 10th century, like throughout the Renaissance, or you know.
Really?
Yeah. A lot of them are a lot newer than the metal ones.
Well, Fluxo looking to play aggressive now into short. BESTIA need a round and need it quick. It's been quite the trial. Timo can't quite get away from the flames, but he's found a gap to work with. And together with Buda, it's gone quite well. Exit. Going to the bomb plant.
Missed shot.
Hassan doesn't quite connect the shot. It is brutal. Bomb doesn't go down though. Buda's still in the site, but finally shot down. Now it is Fluxo in command. Blink and you miss it. They take over the server.
They just forgot about the long player. I thought Buda knew. Someone was shooting at him, and then Thomason just swings and doesn't look at long. He was looking at short. What happened there? That was so chaotic. They got the first couple of kills. It felt like the defense was finally going to be successful, but then it all fell apart. BESTIA have really allowed Fluxo to come back into this one.
Yeah,
I've got no clue how.
Monumental fumble. And a few shots missed from Cassin in a row now. You do not want to be him right after all of this. Closing the distance with the AWP. You've got to put the past bygones behind you. Get shut down on the face. That was the only rifle for BESTIA.
They are walking into a two-man setup. You've got Nacho with the Digo. MP9 could be dangerous in that type of a position, but Nacho needs to take that attention away. He's done so. And there goes Thomason. Digo joins in. Surely that's not the round that they pick up. Surely not like this. Thomason getting one more. There goes Timo and make it a double. And BESTIA have finally picked up a round.
You cannot make this up.
A half buy.
It's been a 6-round drought for them, not getting a single piece of the pie, and now it's a half buy that provides them a way back in.
What is that? They lost 7 in a row. They had a 3 versus...
Timo, by the way.
It had to be a 10-2 half. This game had to be done. It's such a long time ago. They lose 7 in a row and they win a half buy with MP9s and Digos.
You got to put emphasis on Timo's 2D there, because sure, the first confrontation in the B site, the holders there did a brilliant job, but Timo coming in and getting 2 one-shots pretty much guaranteed the round. And Timo has been such an instrumental piece for BESTIA. He was the one that got the ball rolling on this map to begin with. But BESTIA getting a win here reinstates belief. Nacho with the bullets through the smoke gives BESTIA the numbers advantage.
There's no way this has just turned things around. They've got 3 players on short, so they can hear DCs every step of the way. And there's no one coming in from lower, from middle, from top mid, so eventually they'll realize this. They can just turn around. They can either have a very fast flank pushing top middle and coming behind from long, or just refocus and regather everyone towards the A-bomb side. Cassin's already here, and he's got the Uto as well. He can molly them, he can nade the smoke.
All right. Fluxo have gained the space back. They seem to know that there could be a player in Gandalf. A lot of damage being done as well to Cassin. And now Timo can reveal himself. They don't fully believe he could be around. Now just spotted, doing damage to the long player, closing in on the distance. Cassin doing so much. He's shot this distraction right now as the ramp players close in as well. Nacho, beautiful headshot with the USP. And BESTIA now, after winning the previous, feel they can win once again.
There's no way this is how they run away with it. There's no way all of this was for now from Fluxo. For naught. They've won 7 in a row. And the moment that they level things up, instead of getting the lead, they lose 2 in a row. And now BESTIA, once again, look like they've regained their commanding position. A tactical timeout out of Fluxo. This is the last one. Final opportunity. What do you do now, though? It feels like there's been another big momentum swing. This time it's in favor of the CTs, but they're close enough. And Timo's still laughing.
He can't believe it. He can't believe it. He's had such a tremendous performance, and
I would try to replicate the drinking sound from, oh no, the eating sound from Minecraft, or the drinking one from Fortnite. But I don't think I can do that properly. It's going to be my first attempt. I'm not going to do it live on stream. 125 is are the odds for BESTIA. $35 bonus, of course, over its stake. Make sure you click the banner below and go and check it out.
Pivot around here, because realistically, Fluxo win this. This is still in the air. Replacing the mid smoke. Fluxo look like they want to end up towards this B bomb site.
Thomas is going to be playing the left-hand side position. They do have Molotovs. They need to try and molly him out. Nacho's just going to be baiting for him, and Buda's coming in as well. They're going to have 3 people here.
Was that enough of a bait, though?
This is a perfect call.
It is, but now the crisscross smokes come in, which denies access for the rest of the BESTIA crew. Tamarjan gets left unchecked. It is rough around the edges, but the picture is still painted. And Nacho joining in now. Gets given a double kill. And everyone from BESTIA have something to say about this. Fluxo's attack collapses. And the map point, series point, is granted.
That's such a good call out of Buda. Exactly when they decide to go for the crisscross smokes into a B play, he calls in a 3-man stack with Thomas in hiding, Nacho on the bomb side, and Buda himself in towards the window. They were just 1 step ahead, no, 2 steps ahead. And now they get 3 opportunities to close out the game. Send Fluxo back in and go head-to-head with Shinden tomorrow in that consolidation final. And all of this might have been for nothing.
Maybe so. But maybe no. As long as Fluxo end the round, there's still a chance, and that's what they've got to believe in. They already performed quite the miracle to get where they are after being pretty much irrelevant throughout most of the game.
Oprah's still here. Caston's not moved.
He's had a hard game, though. Flashed for now. Nacho does the heavy lifting at first. Caston doesn't quite connect, but it's Buda that lands a double spray headshot. LTZ and Zevi, all that remain for Fluxo, and they need to stand out huge. Low on HP, that Nacho was able to take care of, and Timo joining in on the fray is also there to capitalize on his opponent's position. 13-9, the 2-0. And the dismantling of Fluxo. BESTIA finally get there. Albeit labored, they continue